Hi and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a heads-up comparison on the Firefly HH Telecaster style guitar and the Squier HH Telecaster Affinity. Now, to start with, the Firefly's around $180 new, and this particular version of the Squier is around $285, although they can be had for $250 with different colors. But this particular one and most of your HHs can be in special colors or a little more expensive. So right off the bat, this is definitely more expensive. Now, let's start with weight. They're about the same. The Firefly is heavier. Really, it's probably close to a pound heavier. I don't have a scale handy, but it's definitely a heavier guitar. We have a mahogany body, and it has a cutaway for your arm, as well as the belly contour. Whereas here we have, it just says a solid wood body. These are usually poplar or basswood, I believe it's called, basswood. I believe these are poplar, but they may not be. But that's what it says is solid wood. We don't have an arm contour, but we do have the belly contour. This particular model is a string through, where this one has a tremolo on it. So we have a cavity cover and a tremolo cover. The cavity cover is recessed. And as you can see, we have a full-size tremolo block. Now also, on this one, on the Firefly, we have a cutaway on our heel, as we have a standard square heel on our Telecaster from Squier. Now as you get into the hardware, we have a 6-point tremolo, or excuse me, a 6-saddle 2-point tremolo. It is floating, has a pop-in arm, and we have a standard 6-point string through here, or 2-point, I can't talk today guys, 6-saddle string through tremolo, or a bridge here. For controls, we have single volume, single tone with coil split and a 3-way toggle. Here we have single volume, single tone and a 3-way toggle. Now, both, actually I'm sorry, this one has Alnico pickups and this one has ceramic pickups. The biggest feature difference is going to be from here on out with the necks and the tuners. Now, both have maple necks, except this one is a roasted maple, and this is just a standard maple. We have a laurel fretboard on this one, and we have 21 frets, and we have a rosewood fretboard on here with 22 frets. Now, we have decent fretwork on the Squier, but they are standard frets. Where we have ball-in frets that are stainless steel on the Firefly. Plastic nut on the Squier. I think I called it a Strat a minute ago, I meant Squier. And a bone nut on the Firefly. For tuners, we have sealed tuners on the Tele from Squier, and the Firefly has locking tuners. So overall, it specs out a lot better. Radius-wise, we have a 9.5 radius on the fretboard here, and I believe this was 16 when I put my radius gauge to it. So the Firefly really specs out a lot nicer. Now as far as playability, both necks feel good, but the Firefly is a lot smoother on the back. It's definitely a more finished feeling neck. And by finished feeling, I don't mean that it's got a finish on it. I mean it's the smoothness of the Tele is from Squier. It's a little rough, could use some sanding, whereas this is ready to play. It just feels nice. Both have, pretty nice fretwork, although these stainless steel frets, they're a lot better than what's on here, at least as far as how they feel day in and day out. I have played both quite a bit. Both are good guitars for the money. Listen to the individual reviews to hear how they sound. Personally, it's a toss-up for me. These are hotter. These are great for certain types of music, and these are great for a little more classic style. I like both. Neither have what I would want for regular play all the time, but both are great for the money and definitely for a beginner guitarist. Both are good mod platforms. A lot of it's going to come down to personal choice. Classic looks, even though this one is HH, it still looks like a classic Telecaster, whereas this is just definitely hot rodded. Completely doesn't, I mean, it's reminiscent of a Telecaster style guitar, but it's definitely not a Tele when you look at it. Like I said, spec-wise, the Firefly takes it. Playability, they both play really well. They both stay in tune really well. The Firefly does stay in tune better, but the Squier's not had any problem staying in tune, really. It's been nice. So for the money, Firefly is going to take this one. Overall, I prefer the aesthetics of the Squier, and I don't mind the 9.5-inch radius on some of my guitars. So I prefer the Squier Tele in all honesty. But this one plays great, sounds good, and is really spec'd out nicely. So you can't go wrong with either one. So it will come down to personal preference, really what you're looking for out of the guitar. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content, please click like and subscribe. Click the bell icon to stay notified. Leave me some comments and suggestions. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, keep playing.